big breaking news which is coming in, and now we are getting an inside track as to who are the front runners after Biplab Dev. Let me go across to Nibir Deka for that. Nibir, what are you picking up? I believe there are already two names which have been picked up. Well, I believe we've lost that audio connection, but Jishnu Dev Varma and Pratima Bhoumik are the two front runners which are now being pitched. In fact, let me go across to Tamal Saha. That's going to be an interesting one to watch out for. Who is going to be his successor?
Well, Jishnu Dev Varma is the Deputy Chief Minister in the state of Tripura, and mind you, just 2-3 days back, in fact last Wednesday, there had been an incident at a posh hotel in Agartala, which had also seen involvement of the son of Deputy Chief Minister Jishnu Dev Varma. Now, what you're picking up from sources that possibly has not really gone down well with a section of BJP leaders in the state, and whether that's the trigger point, we cannot really confirm at this point in time. But then there had been some amount of dissent against Biplab Dev, not to discount the fact that a senior leader who has also been a minister in Biplab Dev's cabinet, Shah Dev Burman, was removed from ministry. A senior leader from Congress who had joined BJP, and he was given the health portfolio, but eventually he had to resign from his ministry, and he continued with BJP. There had been a lot of murmurs during the municipal polls that there would be defections from BJP. Shah Dev Varma had vocally spoken against Biplab Dev. So yes, there had been multiple occasions where there had been the reasons for people to wonder whether there is internal dissent within BJP in Tripura. And as I've been saying, that just a couple of months back, there was strong murmurs doing rounds that Biplab Dev might put in his papers as a chief minister, and there could be a new chief minister in the state. But then there was intervention of the central leadership. In fact, if you recall, Biplab Dev had been campaigning in New Delhi for several days during that time. So now at this point in time, Biplab Dev, as BJP says, would be more engaged, involved and utilized in the organization of the party, which is BJP, as the party gears up for a very important 2023 assembly election in Tripura. And as Padmaja was also explaining, you have the new entrant, which is Trinamool Congress, trying to ensure that they can they can squeeze out the opposition space, and that's exactly what they did during the municipal polls. Mind you, Tripura had been a citadel of the left, and from there the party went to the power went to the hands of BJP, and then Trinamool Congress, riding high on Bengal election victory, had tried expanding its front and footprints in the northeastern side of India, and of course Tripura had been their first target. So Trinamool Congress is confident of giving a strong fight to BJP, and BJP is also trying to gear up for the election. Right ahead of that, Biplab Dev resigning is definitely a very significant development. Who will be the next chief minister? That's speculation continues. Yes, as you rightly said, Jishnu Dev Varma is one of the front runners. A meeting with the central leadership is currently underway.
In fact, let me go across to Nibir. And Nibir is the one who got us this information of the two front runners. Tell us what's working in favor of the Deputy Chief Minister, Jishnu Dev Varma, also Pratima Bhoumik.
Yes, very interestingly, two names have come in the forefront. That is Jishnu Dev Varma, which is the Deputy Chief Minister, and also Pratima Bhoumik. She is one of the first from the Tripura to go to the Union Cabinet, and these two names are coming in forward, and it is expected the name of the next Chief Minister will be announced today. So they are in the front, and especially Jishnu Dev Varma, because the internal problems of the Cabinet, there was a problem regarding Biplab Dev as the Chief Minister, and Jishnu Dev Varma was the mediator in that internal tussle that occurred in the cabinet. So that's why he has an advantage over the Biplab Dev Varma, and maybe because of that, Biplab Dev Varma had to resign, because Jishnu Dev Varma's presence within the cabinet was emerging more in the last few months.
Well, of course, Jishnu Dev Varma is also one of the royals of the Tripura family. Let me go across to Padmaja. Padmaja, very interesting, because all of this doesn't come suddenly, because he's also had long meetings with Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, as well in the capital. So let me go across to Tamal. Tamal, if you can tell us a bit about the infighting that you were talking about, the dissent which seemed to be brewing within the party.
Well, that's right. You have Shubal Bhoumik, a strong Congress leader, had joined Trinamool Congress. You have Shrudeep Dev Burman, who had been the former health minister in BJP, Biplab Dev's cabinet, had resigned from his ministry, and during the municipal elections, he had been quite vocal about Biplab Dev, that his governance is possibly not the best governance that BJP could give to the people of Tripura. Yes, it's a fact that during the Tripura municipal elections, it was a landslide victory for BJP. It had swept the elections. In fact, in Agartala Corporation election, for the first time in the history, there is no opposition. BJP won all the seats. So it was quite significant, a victory and a development that Biplab Deb tried, clinging on to project his leadership, to project his success story, but not to discount the fact that a new entrant like Trinamool Congress in Tripura had managed to get roughly about 20% vote share, which was something that was critically observed by poll pundits. You also cannot discount the fact there is a strong presence of left. As I've been saying, it had been the citadel of left, and thus Biplab Deb, mired in one after the other controversy, has not really gone down well with the BJP's core leadership in the state. We also have to recall as several statements of Biplab Deb that have been quote-unquote tagged as unscientific. His remarks about Ramayan, his remarks about certain medicines, and all done publicly have in a way quote-unquote embarrassed Tripura BJP. And again, for that, Biplab Deb had been pulled up time and again by the central leadership. But then, leaving everything aside, today this development comes as a big surprise, and also very interesting, the resignation letter that Biplab Deb has submitted to the Tripura governor. It's just a one-line resignation letter. Kindly accept my resignation letter. Kindly make it effective from today itself. That's all. That's it. That's exactly what is written in the resignation letter. Nothing mentioned as what are the reasons like, what's really happened all of a sudden, and what necessitated him to resign today. All of a sudden, today is a Saturday minded. Right. So yes, he has given his resignation. The resignation has been accepted. Meghna's central leadership is also present in Agartala, and as I've been saying, a meeting is currently underway. In all likeness, the name would be announced today itself as who would be the next chief minister of Tripura.